Joe Biden, it is so much fun to make fun of him as, Papa Joe, Poopy Pants Joe, and Dementia Joe, and he can't get it. He can't talk. It is fun. But you understand that this has the potential to end the world? It's not being over the top. This has the potential to end the world. When you look at what's happening out there right now, what the other powerful nuclear nations are doing right now, and we have a president of the United States of America who has to be saved from the media by his granddaughter?
Yes, one of the things that you may recall that I initiated was the international flat tax provision. And we got 140 some nations to sign on to it. I'm coming. This is my son Bo's oldest daughter, and she's trying to tell me, Dad, Grandpa, Pop, get going. He promised me to walk.
Excuse me? The leader of the free world chose to stop and answer questions, and granddaughter comes up and says, nope, no more questions. Now, you might not think that's a big deal. I promise you, Vladimir Putin thinks that's a big deal. Xi Jinping thinks that's a really, really big deal. And this is something that I've tried to explain 1,000 times. If I have a bad night here on TV, right here I'm right on the first. Let's say maybe I got the flu, or tired, didn't sleep, whatever the case may be. And I'm coming off kind of weak and feeble. I'm slumped over. That doesn't matter. I'll be back tomorrow, do it again. The world's not going to change if I have a bad night on television. If Joe Biden has bad day after bad day after bad day after bad day in front of television cameras, it has the ability to change and or end the world. Do you remember? You do remember when Afghanistan collapsed, right? Afghanistan collapsed, and this was a moment, very few moments like this actually, but this was a moment when the whole world was focused on us. They're always watching us, but they were focused on us. What, America's pulling out, Afghanistan, this is embarrassing, people are getting killed, what's going on? And Joe Biden gets up to speak about it. Do you have any idea how many people in how many countries across the world watch the President of the United States of America speak like this?
Thank you. May God bless you all, and may God protect the troops and all those standing watch for America. We have so much to do. It's within our capacity to do it. We just have to remain steadfast. Steadfast. Ladies and gentlemen, they gave me a list here. The first person I was instructed to call on was Kelly O'Donnell of NBC.
The first person I was instructed to call on? They've been watching the whole time. And you remember what I said back then? This whole thing is not only amateurish and embarrassing, this whole thing is amateurish and embarrassing in front of the whole world. It's one thing if you walk outside and slip on the ice and fall on your rear end and you're by yourself. It's quite another if you're at a party with 500 people watching. We just embarrassed ourselves with the entire world watching. They think we're weak. They think we're amateurish. Our allies aren't quite sure if we're going to be there for them. And how could they be sure of that? We've got our allies in Afghanistan dropping like flies. This is a disaster. The world is looking right now, and they're asking, are they still top dog? I mean, this is not what the top dog does. This is what some fading power does. And it's true. And guess what we learned today? I can't even. Iran now has enough material to build a nuclear weapon. And I need to lay something out for you here just so everyone's clear on this. Let's set China aside for a moment. Iran and Russia, they're like this. Iran, they're now not only apparently a nuclear power, they have voiced publicly several times their intention to eliminate Israel from the map. Israel, they're not a nation that can allow that, obviously. They can't give Iran a chance. Let's have peace talks. If Iran is truly ready, if Israel believes Iran is truly ready to launch a weapon at them, Israel's going to declare war, and Israel's going to attack first. Israel attacks Iran. Russia's right there as an ally of Iran. We're an ally of Israel. Are you starting to get a picture of just how dangerous things are right now on the world stage? We are standing on a knife's edge. On a knife's edge. China's busy saber rattling all the time right now with Taiwan. They're doing it again and again and again. They violated Taiwan's airspace 1,400 times. Okay, so we have the Iran-Russia-Israel dynamic. Now let's go over to the Chinese dynamic. We're way beyond saber rattling at this point in time. At this point in time, they're sharpening the saber right in front of you and staring at you like they want to cut your throat. Oh, and by the way, did I mention President Dementia committed us to full-blown war if China attacks?
Are you willing to get involved militarily to defend Taiwan if it comes to that?
Yes.
You are?
That's the commitment we made.
That's the commitment we made. Are you starting to appreciate more and more just how dangerous it is to have a president of the United States of America who's not even a fully functional adult? In fact, he's a feeble old man. And look, let's just fast forward a little bit here. What would happen in one of these wars? I mean, wars don't look like the last war, right? But one thing we do know, this is simply a fact, a huge part of wars since World War II is air power. Wars are fought in the air. Navies are important, much as that pains me to say. Air forces are important, much as that pains me to say. We have a report out today that the Navy and Air Force are struggling to keep planes ready for takeoff. Struggling to keep planes ready for takeoff. We have a Navy and Air Force. We have a Navy that's crashing into underwater mountains. We have an Air Force whose planes aren't ready to take off the ground. We have Iran threatening nuclear war, now obtaining a nuclear weapon. Russia invading Ukraine, us helping the people Russia is fighting, and China wants to invade Taiwan. And the President of the United States of America can't get through 2 sentences without screwing up words and names and forgetting what planet he's on. And in case you're wondering what the Navy is doing to right these wrongs, get those planes ready, get those ships ready. Here's a little sample of the training that's going on in the United States Navy.
Hi, my name is Johnny and I use he, him pronouns.
Hi, and I'm Kanchi and I use she, her pronouns.
And we're here to talk about pronouns.
What is a pronoun? A pronoun is how we identify ourselves apart from our name, and it's also how people refer to us in conversations.
Using the right pronouns is a really simple way to affirm someone's identity. It is a signal of acceptance and respect.
If it's a signal of acceptance and respect, how do we go about creating a safe space for everybody?
That's a good question. A really good way to do that is to use inclusive language. Instead of saying something like, hey guys, you can say, hey everyone, or hey team. Some names are very difficult to pronounce, but do you know what is very easy to pronounce? She, he, they.
We're going to lose a major war. At West Point right now, we just got documents. The cadets, they're learning about whiteness and using critical race theory to analyze that. We're talking about millions of lives. We're talking about the potential end of the earth, and we elected the President of the United States of America who has dementia and has fully embraced this cultural Marxist filth. We are in deep trouble. All that may have made you uncomfortable, but I'm right.
Jesse Kelly Breaks History, Vladimir Lenin, a new First TV exclusive special hosted by Jesse Kelly. Visit thefirsttv.com or download the First TV app to subscribe and start watching today.